Welcome to This Explainer. Okay, let's be real. If you're tired of wasting postage, losing your sanity, and spending way too much time just trying to pay your Knoxville water bill, you're in the absolute right place. Today, we're going to completely demystify how to manage and pay your utility bill online, saving you time and giving you total peace of mind. Look, we all want the convenience of digital payments, right? It saves us precious time, keeps that postage money in our wallets, and honestly, it completely eliminates that shared anxiety of wondering if a check got lost in the mail. But if you live in Knox County, you've probably noticed a major hurdle right out of the gate. It is just not as simple as logging onto one single county website to pay your bill. So here's our agenda to unlock this system. We're going to cover the Knoxville water grid, setting up your account, making online payments, mastering autopay, avoiding pesky fees, and then we'll finish up with a quick recap. All right, let's jump right into Section 1, the Knoxville water grid and finding your utility provider. So let's start with the big plot twist. Knoxville doesn't have just one water provider. No way. It's actually a highly fragmented network based on your exact geography. There are 6 distinct districts you might fall under. The Knoxville Utilities Board, or KUB, is the largest, sure, but depending on where you live, you might be served by West Knox, First Utility District, Northeast Knox, Knox-Chapman, or Hallsdale-Powell. What this means is your physical address literally dictates your specific online portal, the fees you're going to encounter, and the rules you have to play by. So how do you figure out who your specific provider actually is? Well, it's time to play Navigator. You can head over to the KGIS tool to pinpoint your exact service jurisdiction using just your street address. Or, alternatively, you can submit a KUB utility availability form online, which usually processes in about 1 to 2 business days. Identifying your correct provider is absolutely crucial step 1 because every single one of these 6 districts operates an entirely distinct digital platform. Moving on to Section 2, setting up your account, which is basically your blueprint for registration. Once you actually know your provider, the next step is building your blueprint and getting registered on their specific online portal. For example, if you're with Kubu, again, the largest provider, you're going to need to follow these exact steps to register your account securely. You'll need your 10-digit account number, your billing zip code, and the last 4 digits of your social security number or tax ID. Let me tell you, having these exact credentials ready to go before you sit down at the computer is going to make the whole process so much more seamless. Now, what's really fascinating here is how the other districts have some highly specific login quirks. For instance, First Utility District recently upgraded their security, so they require a strict alphanumeric user ID formatted precisely with a dash. Or if you're setting up service as a renter with Knox-Chapman, brace your wallet, you'll need to drop a $100 security deposit right at setup. The main takeaway here, every district is like a unique little fortress, so be sure to read the prompts very carefully. Okay, Section 3, making an online payment and navigating your digital options. With your account fully set up, you usually have 2 pathways to actually make a payment: a registered logged-in portal or a guest checkout, but they offer very different experiences. The logged-in portal gives you full access, securely saves your payment history, and, depending on the district, might actually absorb the processing fees for you. On the flip side, the guest checkout, which is sometimes called quick pay, is super convenient if you're in a rush to make a one-time payment. But watch out, because it often comes with strict security gates and extra convenience fees that are passed directly to you. So the really crucial point to remember is that quick pays aren't always as quick and simple as they sound. For instance, Knox-Chapman requires the last 4 digits of your driver's license just to act as a guest. Kind of wild, right? Northeast Knox doesn't even support a guest checkout option at all. You literally have to log in securely. And if you're trying to do a guest checkout on Kube, you can't use a credit or debit card for that specific transaction. It's incredibly vital to understand these nuances so you aren't scrambling to find your driver's license on the day your bill is due. Let's dive into Section 4, mastering autopay and billing, which is really your optimization strategy. It's time to transition from manual chores to those sweet set-it-and-forget-it strategies. But before we start automating things, it's essential to understand what you're actually paying for. When you look at your digital bill, it's super helpful to remember that water bills are typically produced in arrears. Simply put, this means you are being billed for the gallons of water you consumed during the prior month. Understanding this billing cycle helps you anticipate costs, which is especially handy after a month of heavy water usage, like watering a summer garden or filling up a swimming pool. To make managing these bills as effortless as possible, providers offer some fantastic optimization tools. Cube, for example, offers free autopay, which automatically drafts from your bank account right on the due date. If you prefer a bit more control, Cube's Select Pay lets you schedule a one-time bank draft ahead of time. And hey, if you want to avoid those weather-related bill spikes we just talked about, their levelized billing plan uses a rolling 12-month average to keep your monthly payments nice and predictable. These are powerful, completely free tools to simplify your life.
However, you gotta know that not all autopay is digital first. If you happen to be with Northeast Knox, setting up direct debit means partying like it's 1999. Seriously, you have to submit a physical pre-authorization form along with a voided check a full 15 days prior to your billing date. It's just a gentle reminder that some legacy systems still require a bit of analog paperwork.
Moving on to Section 5, Avoiding Fees and Troubleshooting, or as I like to call it, the guardrails of utility portals.
Now let's set up some guardrails because one wrong move in these portals can literally cost you money. For example, while KUVB absorbs the transaction costs for card payments, if you are in the West Knox Utility District, they're going to pass a flat $2.50 convenience fee directly to you every single time you use a card online. Over the course of a year, that adds up to $30 just for the privilege of paying your bill. Setting up an automatic bank draft with them, however, helps you avoid that fee entirely. Even more shocking, you have to ensure you have adequate funds when your auto draft hits. Because if your payment bounces due to insufficient funds or a closed account, First Utility District in Hallsdale-Powell will slap you with a hefty $30 returned item penalty. And Northeast Knox isn't far behind with a $25 fee. Ouch. And those consequences can compound quickly. West Knox applies a 10% late penalty the very next business day after your due date. If you happen to bounce 2 KUB autopays in a year, you are completely locked out of the program for 12 months. And what if you accidentally overpay at Water One? Well, it can take up to 90 business days to get your refund. So always triple check your routing numbers and your account balances. Finally, Section 6, Recap and Resources, which is your final checklist. Let's do a quick recap on what you should take away from this explainer so you can confidently manage your Knox County utilities. Number 1, identify your exact district using the KGIS tool. 2, gather your specific credentials like your account number or even your driver's license before you try to register. 3, be super aware of those varying card fees between guest checkouts in the main portals. 4, set up free bank draft autopay to save time and prevent late fees. And 5, always ensure you have adequate funds to avoid those severe returned item penalties and program lockouts. Just as a quick professional disclaimer, utility processes, fees, and policies frequently change, so you should always consult your official utility website for the most current and accurate information. And hey, don't hesitate to reach out to your provider's customer service if you encounter an issue not covered in this guide. They are literally there to help you. So now that you know the rules and you're fully equipped to navigate Knoxville's localized, fragmented water grid like an absolute pro, how much time, stress, and money are you going to save by mastering your digital payments today? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and here's to making your utility management as completely streamlined as possible.